Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids, and thanks for joining me today. At long last there's a bit of sun shining, and so that makes a big change from what we have been having in July. I mean, I'm going to show you some Cattleyas today, but it's been a bad month for Cattleyas. There's been no light, there's been no heat, and we've had to supplement the garden heat, the greenhouse heaters and the Mars hydro lights, just to try and give them a bit of what they need. Anyhow, let's have a start on these Cattleyas. Now, Cattleyas are named after an English orchid collector who was William Cattley at the beginning of the 19th century. Too little light will cause the spindly growth. It'll also make the pseudobulbs a bit spindly, and it will also make the leaves a dark green when really they should be a light green, yellowy colour, you know, which makes sure you get the proper light to them. The next most important thing is what happens with the Cattleyas when they're in full growth. Well, what you do when they're in full growth, you feed them very, very heavily. When they're not in growth, you don't feed them at all. So what I'm feeding at the moment is calcium, Phostogen, and a bit of liquid seaweed. Now, the Phostogen I've got has a fair amount of calcium in it, but it's got a lot more phosphorus and even more potassium. Now, all these help in the growth of the plants, of the roots, and of the flowering. I can't just tell you how often you should water, you know, that's something of your choice, and what area you live in and what the temperatures are like where you live. So also make sure they dry out before you re-water them. And I think for dry out, I don't mean in the growing season, just let them almost become dry before feeding and watering again. But you can let them dry out in the dormant season for them. Now, Cattleyas will respond pretty well to foliar feeding, which for some reason I don't do. That's why you see that the leaves on my Cattleyas have never got any funny marks on them. And if you're splitting these, if you get a Cattleya that grows far too big, you know, when it's coming over the edges and one thing and another, and you want to repot it and maybe split it, every time you split them, make sure it's got at least 3 or 4 divisions. So with that, I mean, it's got 3 or 4 pseudobulbs per division, and then they'll be alright, they'll grow on pretty well. I don't think there's anything more I can tell you about these. I mean, I grow them all in a large bark, but a lot of people put them in pebbles, they put them in sphagnum moss, they put them in lava rock, and they seem to like everything. You know, providing they get enough air to the roots, that's all they need. Alright, I'll take all these off the bench and have a look at them one by one to show how they're growing, how they're not growing, and anyhow, yeah, we'll just have a look at them. And with the light being so poor, I've had to bring them down from the height of the greenhouse and put them under the Mars hydro lights again. You know, when are we going to get some decent weather here? I've no idea. Well, we'll just go through these a little bit quickly because you've seen them before. This is the Rhyncholalia Cattleya Pink Empress Ju Shen, and you can see the leaves are in excellent condition. Just 4 of them with a new growth coming up there. I mean, the marks you can see on the new growth are quite natural, and they'll slowly disappear. Oops, moving away again. Good, nice root growth on it. I'll lift it up and you can see the roots coming out there. Plenty of root growth on top of the media. So that's coming along fine. That should be nice. Now this is the Cattleyas Luke Tone African Beauty, and you can see it's a double leaf there, but all the new growth a single leaf. Now that just shows this is a hybrid, because on these double-leaved Cattleyas, the plants are much smaller and there's more of them, whereas on the single ones the blooms are much bigger and generally only one or two of them. But these are the new growths that's just opened. No sheaths in them yet. That will come at the end of the growth season, but that's doing quite nicely. Nice root system as well. Cattleyas. Well, this one has only 3 leaves on it, and it's getting a new growth there, and this is the Elegant Dancer, it's called. I'm not sure if it's a Rincolellia or what it is. I'll have a look, see if it's on the label. It just doesn't say. That's what it says. Japanese Orchid Growers Association. Elegant Dancer. Once again, the leaves are nice and clean, and a nice new growth there coming up. So that's not doing too badly. This is the Rincolellia Golf Green Hairy Pig, and it's put 2 new growths since I had it, which are the 2 largest size ones there, but no other new growths at the moment. But if you look down right at the base of the leaf where it grows, there's something bright green right down there. But whether it's going to develop into a flower, I've no idea. Anyhow, time will tell. So that's the Golf Green. This is the Cattleyas, what is it, Gong Ju Swan White Boulder, and this is looking okay. It's just coming up with a new growth for the first time. There it is. Hope it's in focus. Now there's another new growth there that it put up, but that wasn't very good. But we'll see how that goes then anyhow. That's the white boulder. Now this one's looking a bit strange. This is the Mahina Yahiro Ulii, and I thought it's not growing many roots here, but it's putting up a new growth. But the funny thing about it is, it's not putting up the new growth there. It's putting up the new growth where? Got it somewhere here. It's coming through the hole in the side of the pot. So what do I do with that? Do I just leave it, let it grow, or do you think eventually it's going to turn up towards the light? I don't know. We'll just have to see. Because it's a beautiful plant, this, when it does flower. Now, this is one plant that I really like. This is the King of Taiwan. Looking very, very nice. Beautiful big new growth here. Producing new roots there from the new growth. So that's doing very well. I'm going to water these and feed them after I've shown you them. And last but not least is this Haesong Tianmu, and it looks a bit ungainly sloping off to the side there, but I've done that on purpose because it's got 3 new growths and I want them to grow up very, very straight. There's 2 of them, and there's the 3rd one, which I'm hoping when the leaf opens it might have a sheath inside it. But there again, we'll have to wait and see. Haesong Tianmu. Well, we've got a bucket full of our raw water here, so we'll just measure it, what it's coming out at the moment. Press the hold button, and that's pretty good water. No parts per million. And now we'll put the we'll put some calcium in, we'll put some Phostogen in, and we'll put a bit of liquid seaweed in and see what it is then. We've got a few calcium nitrate pellets in the bottom there, and we'll just dissolve them with some hot water. Okay, they dissolve straight away, and then we'll put them into the and see what it measures. If I'm feeding them a little bit heavier now, so we'll just read that and see if we need to put any more in. Well, that's up at 192 with the calcium, but I'm going to feed it a little bit heavier for the next few weeks, just to see if it does give a spurt on for growth. I might feed to around about 350 or 400 altogether. The next we put in is the Phostogen. You can see I put a date on there, that's the last time I used it, 20th of July. So we'll just put a spoonful of that in, and or half a spoonful, and see what it measures then. Yep, put in about that much. Don't forget we're giving it a heavy feed. Then we'll take a reading of that once it's dissolved. Yeah, we've just measured that, and that's at 291 now. So I'll probably need around about 60, 70, 80 parts per million of the liquid seaweed. So we'll put in some liquid seaweed. A bit more, probably. That's right. I mean, there's no exact measurements you have to use for these feeds. You know, you can stick to a rule, but it doesn't matter, because I know people who don't feed any higher than 150. I know people who feed at 400 to 500. That's on the Paphiopedilums. And I know people who feed over 1,000 parts per million to the Phragmipediums. So there's no really fast rule of what you should do. And we'll see what the final reading is on this one. .378, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, if you do overfeed, you can get rid of a lot of it with a bit of a flush with a bit of Epsom salts in next time. So there's no problem. And we'll just check the pH and the temperature of the water. Well, the temperature of the water is 28.9 and the pH up to now is 7.5, but going down. So we'll have to wait about a good 10 minutes before that will tell me what the exact reading is. Well, it's settled now at around about 5.52. So that's fine. The temperature's gone up. Wow, must be hot in here now with the sun on. So that's what it's finishing up at, and that's what I'm using. the plants and give them a good watering. And let's hope they enjoy this this feed I've put in. See if it gives them any spirit. Well, the sun's just come out, blimey. Won't be out for long. But if we get any sun, I might have to do these every couple of days, maybe every day if it gets really hot. We've got the Gulf Green. Anyhow, I'm going to do all these, all the ones I've shown you and all the ones that I haven't shown you with the same feed. And you'll not want to watch me do them all and all that, because it's just a matter of pouring water through, isn't it? So thanks very much for watching, and until next time when I can bring you something that's worth watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers, and I'll see you all later. Bye.